my man right here pulled himself up by his bootstraps, blue collar guy, all American man, Joe Robbie, owned the Miami Dolphins. He said to his spouse and his children, by God, if there's one thing I hope for this family, keep that Miami Dolphins team for forever. We got it made, baby. But my man did not have an effective estate plan. And this is why everybody should have a family office. The Joe Robbie story. Let me get my dumb head out of the way. Even the ultra wealthy ones end up dumping their business to cover the cost of the estate bill. When it was all said and done, he didn't buy life insurance, he didn't get clever enough, he didn't work with a family office, and boom, $47 million estate tax bill. They didn't have the liquidity. He had to sell. You just hate to see it. Let's dive in. Let's figure out what the heck's going on here. So, in the world of family offices, they're becoming more popular. All right, there's a Bank of America private, JP Morgan private, Goldman Sachs private, you name it. But those big box trillion-dollar asset management firms, they don't have the agility. You know, it's a highly regulated, a lot of compliance stuff. They can't move quick the way a family office can. And now family offices are behaving in line with how you might expect. Equity and profit share, the battle for talent, it's intensifying. Look at the fee sensitivity. Family office, they have lower overhead costs. They work directly with the funds of funds, the private equity deals. They have the connections. Warren Buffett has even spoken about when he was when he managed fewer assets, when he was in this world, he could double his money every year. And then you get into the fee sensitivity. If you look at holding a SPY ETF for tracking the S&P 500 index, if you're paying high fees, there's 2.5%. Orange is 2%, purple 1.5%, blue 1%, green with no management fee. Look at that. It's consequential, substantial amount of money. If you work with a family office, they can find you good deals. They can charge you lower management fees. You know, why the heck wouldn't you do it? Now, let's take a look. What are these guys doing specifically? Well, we're talking about family offices. What's the point? Well, about $70 trillion is going to be passed down from the baby boomers to the millennials. All right. North America stands out for the small role of inherited wealth among ultra high net worth entrepreneurs and executives. That's changing. There's more entrepreneurs, there's more venture capitalists, there's more founders, there's more owner operators. It's happening. So that's already a trend we're seeing. But the inheritance, $70 trillion is going to be passed down. You guys, if you don't have an estate plan or a succession plan, if you don't have it built out, you need to work with a family office who's got the insurance consultants, they work with the lawyers, they work with the estate planners, they work with the accountants, the subject matter expertise in those niche areas, and they're not going to charge you an arm and a leg. What are they holding? 58% traditional assets. So you hear about 60-40, equity and debt. Well, in the alternative world, we're talking about 58% traditional, 42% alternatives. We're looking at hedge funds, real estate, private equity, direct investments, funds of funds, and the secondaries for private equity, private debt, private credit, gold and precious metals, art and equity, or antiques, commodities. But also for the net worth guys, you know, your 20% equity sleeve, only 24% in the developed markets, 4% emerging markets. You got to think about diversification. You got to think about hedging. All right. If you're an American person with an American business, think about how exposed you are to American risks. So that's another thing, you know, but I digress. Now let's go through an article here. Family offices are growing. Okay, trend is here. This is from Business Insider. Family offices now manage $6 trillion. Okay, it's happening. A personal financial roadmap tailored just for you and your family. Every financial decision ensuring your wealth grows for generations to come. Secure generational wealth. Transfer generational wealth, right? Don't give it to the government. Don't give it away. Keep it in the family. Wealth in the millions have established family offices. Okay, so you can establish your own. You can maintain autonomy. If it starts doing well, you can scale it. Turn it into something that makes money for you, right? The basics of setting one up. Well, we can help you. You know, it doesn't have to be complicated. Family office is like a quarterback, someone who is going to give you your time back and is going to source information from the biggest and brightest minds. And what is the point? Well, you got to get philosophical. What does financial freedom mean to us? What is enough money? What is a good retirement? What is a goal? What am I getting up in the morning to do? What is the point of life? Let's figure it out, okay? Once you got money, let's enjoy ourselves, right? Let's see. So, economic circumstance. saving only 3.6% of disposable personal income as of February 2024, down from 5.3% a decade ago, far below average savings during COVID-19 pandemic. U.S. adults spending an average of $91 on subscription services each month. Nearly half have signed up for a field trial of a paid subscription and forgotten to cancel it. Oh boy, I don't know what the point of this is, but I highlighted it because dollars do add up. It is good to go through it with a fine pick and comb and figuring out where you can optimize your cash flow. And if you're going to do these endeavors that are somewhat labor intensive and a little bit boring, you might as well do it with someone you like. Why not do it with the family, right? Now, JP Morgan, their asset classes, as far as their private equity or their private alternative sleeves for their private wealth clients, a lot of private equity, a lot of public equity, some real estate, some cash, investment grade fixed income, commodities, infrastructure. I think you're going to see more infrastructure, some of these artificial intelligence plays, more limited partnerships in oil and gas or renewable energy where you have the tax benefits. But yeah, interesting to see that private equity is the leader, but not surprising because private equity returns since the mid-'80s have outperformed public markets. So not super surprising. I talked about this a moment ago, operating costs. You got to think about this. Imagine the expenses a company like JP Morgan is paying. You know, you see these downtown city centers with these 100-story tower buildings. They're paying a lot of rent. They're paying a lot of staff. They've got, just think about it. Versus a family office, you know, some of these are remote. We're a virtual family office, for example, here at GrowThink. We're not paying rent. We're not paying all these crazy fees for someone for equity research and someone to churn out reports. We're working directly with the people. So we're cutting out all these extra costs. And, that just means lower fees for you, the end user, the client. Here's a survey. Individuals with a sense of personal achievement, very concerned in the older generation, at least somewhat concerned, 35%. So, might be time to start thinking about succession planning, estate planning, how to transfer the wealth and what they ought to do with it. Individuals fiscally responsible, maintain financially sustainable lifestyle, very concerned, 15%, somewhat concerned, 32%. Prepared for the responsibility of inheriting wealth, the majority are at least either very or somewhat concerned. So, we don't have to go all the way through it, but think about this, family conflicts over issues. It's in an ideal world that doesn't happen, but it's good to have a plan. And if the plan goes awry, it's good to know you have this family office that's going to help get the things done that need doing. Target return, this is an important thing because family offices, by and large, they outperform. 41% seeking 10 to 20% year over year. Okay, and then there's even some of them that are looking for more than 20%. Average of 11.3. Not bad. Not bad at all. And then lastly, just looking back at this, not enough cash to pay the $47 million estate bill. The only solution was to sell the Dolphins and the stadium at fire sale prices. Dilemma created tremendous bitterness and resentment within the family. Destroyed everything Robbie had spent his life working for. If he had a better insurance consultant and a family office to help take care of him, it never would have happened. Don't make the same mistake, folks.